Nobody's ever made bad trade deals like our country has made. The jobs and wealth have been stripped from our country. Year after year, decade after decade, trade deficit upon trade deficit, reaching more than $700 billion last year alone, and lots of jobs.
I've been doing business with China for more than 3 decades. I've watched the bilateral trade deficit being created by what used to be a trade with the United States used to have trade deficits with Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Southeast Asia. What happened over these years is a lot of the semi-finished goods would go to China, and China has exported. So what's happened is the trade deficit we used to have with those other countries has been transferred to China. Now that is not China's fault, and we should not blame China for that. It relates, a lot of these things can be solved in part by America dealing with its own savings problem. So if we save more as a country, then we wouldn't need to import so much capital to do things. So there are a lot of answers here which don't really relate to U.S.-China relations. They relate to what the United States must do itself. It was the development of a relationship between President Xi and President Trump. It's important for U.S.-China relations, but it's also important for the world, because what we know, in the next 4 years, there are going to be problems. They may not relate to the United States, they may not relate to China, but they will be global problems which require the President of the United States and the President of China to speak, to talk together, to help resolve it. It may be a pandemic. It may be something that we don't know what it's going to be, but we know that the United States and China are going to have to talk to resolve it. They're going to have to jointly act to resolve it. And what this summit did, it laid the foundation for those future discussions.